Well, good evening, everyone. It's Sunday night, the 13th of October, 2024. I'm Paul Fitzsimons. Welcome to the Irish Column. I have myself and Anthony. I'm just going to hold on there. I'll just drop the lads in there. I have Anthony Casey with me tonight. How are you, Anthony?
How are you doing, Paul?
And I also have Martin Murphy with me tonight. Hello, Martin. How's things? It's been an eventful week, hasn't it?
Yep.
Always is.
I tell you, with the Shinners are really gone, aren't they? Jesus Christ, man! How many of them have left in the last couple of days? It's gone crazy,
It's bad. It is bad.
It's brilliant.
All their come-ons have collapsed, I believe, and
yeah.
Look, they're all recognizing that they're not what they say they are in the tin.
Now you have it. I got a text yesterday from a friend of mine. I'll play the video now in a minute, but I put it up on X there yesterday, and I got a text from a mate of mine that 10 of Donnelly's canvas team had walked away from the party. Now, and in saying that, nobody has come out to debunk it. Nobody has put up in any of the comments, oh, that's not happened, that didn't happen, that, you know what I mean? So, listen, it must be happening, you know what I mean? How's things with everyone there now? How are you, Martin?
All good. We told them long before anybody started saying Sinn Féin are traitors. We told them they were pursuing identity politics, and we told them they were going on with gender nonsense, and their leadership didn't listen, and this is what happens.
Yeah,
there's still some good people in that party. There's still some grassroots people, and they need to realize there are nationalist political avenues there for anybody who wants to save this country. The doors are open. There's loads of new parties to choose from. So don't walk away from politics, because there is still good people in there. The people who are walking away now are good people, because they realize that the leadership of Sinn Féin have dragged them down a route that the party was never meant to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very true.
You think, Anthony?
Yeah, I think that they're being exposed as the fake opposition party that they have become. Once upon a time, maybe they were an opposition party, but I think that time has gone, and has gone for a few years now. So look, it's good that people are finding out before it's too late, and they should jump on side with a real opposition party.
Exactly, the Irish Freedom Party. Jump on board with us. Ryan Corker there. Ryan got on contact with me during the week there. Ryan, I don't know whether I'll get you on now tonight. We've a lot of stuff to do, but listen, I will be in touch with you to get you on to do an interview, which I'd like to talk to you, even if we do a recorded interview, Ryan. That's no problem, you know. What have we got? Sinn Féin are globalist WEF. Yes, they are. Of course they are. Now, Gavin went at them yesterday, early yesterday morning, and then I went at them in the afternoon. So I'm going to play my video just because I thought it was quite funny. Good evening, everyone. Paul Fitzsimons, Irish Freedom Party. Saturday, the 12th of October 2024, and another day, another Sinn Féin is in the paper again for actually texting teenagers. Okay, now Sinn Féin are going around with they're flying the Palestinian flag, they're flying the rainbow flag, they're flying Black Lives Matter flags, and I just got a text from a friend of mine no more than an hour ago who told me that 10 of Paul Donnelly's canvas team had walked off and left the party. His words to me were, these are no longer the Sinn Féin that we voted for years ago, Paul. They are ruining the country. And it's a pity that you weren't, that I wasn't running over here, that he would be voting for me. But you have to look at this. Why are they doing this? Well, the paedophilia. They're a paedophilia party. That's what they're doing now. Everything is about paedophilia. They have, as Jerry Adams' brother, the whole lot of them, you know what I mean? And Sinn Féin are covering this up. Mary Lou McDonald is covering this up. They fly the flag, the transgender flag, because I don't know whether a lot of people know this or not, but Mary Lou's brother is now Mary Lou's sister. So look into it yourself, people. But as I said, Paul Donnelly has lost 10 people out of his canvas team, and they have left the party. So maybe Denise Mitchell's seat over in Dublin Bay North is not as airtight as they think. So vote for me, Paul Fitzsimons, Dublin Bay North. Irish Freedom Party. Erden go bra. There you go.
Oh, I like that at the end.
I like it myself. That's why I done it. It was brilliant. But yeah, it's gone ridiculous. And then this morning now they're talking about more. There's more gone. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, isn't it? The way they're at their imploding. It really has. You know.
Yeah.
It's nothing, but it's nothing new. This has been going on in the party for decades. You know what I mean? Sinn Féin have a very good media machine. They're able to cover up a lot of things and kind of keep things quiet. And in the past, they were very, very good at silencing people through intimidation. But through social media now, they just can't do it anymore. They can't control people the way they used to. But it's good to see. Let them go back to. Let them rebuild. Let them rebuild to what Sinn Féin was supposed to be when it was started. They can be in the doldrums for a while. There's other parties and other people willing to step in as a real opposition as they sort out their leadership. And I firmly blame it on their leadership. It's the top echelons of the party. It's the same in most political parties. There are still good people in all the political parties who actually want to do right by this country, but there's an elitist level of leadership there that has to go across the board.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But I tell you, Gavin went with a video this morning. Okay, I'm going to go with this again. Now, Gavin, this is again, he's reading the papers every morning and he's doing videos every day because of this. You know what I mean? And this is again, Sinn Féin again. So we finish off with this one and we'll move on to something else. But Sinn Féin are traitors. That's what we have to go with.
And look, I always tell you as it is. But here's the facts of it. The political class and the media in this country are doing everything in their power to try silence me. If they had their way, they'd ban Twitter, TikTok and Facebook to silence me. It won't move. You can't silence Gavin Pepper. The amount of complaints that they've put in with the code of ethics is astronomical. Even a councillor has put in complaints. Even Drew Harris has put in complaints against me. Drew, you're not wanted in this jurisdiction. Get out. But that tells me they're scared. Because next week, they're having a councillor sitting 2 seats up for me calls for a meeting to be had in relation to disinformation and misinformation online. I was 2 seats away and he asked him for 6 signatures. He didn't ask me to sign it. But he was very close and pally with Daithí Doolan of Sinn Féin. Considering what's going on in the McGonigal and the Sinn Féin scandal, I think that's a bit strange. But look, it is what it is. Once again, they're scared. Because in the Dáil, it's a club. Councillors in the council, it's a club. They've already said they wanted to isolate people like me. They know I don't want to be in their club. I want to expose their club. You'll never silence me and stop me from calling you out. Because at the end of the day, I was elected by the people at Ballymun and Finglas. That's who elected me. And I'll be running in the general election in Dublin North West to represent them. I represent the struggling families in this country who can't afford to pay their rent, their gas, their ESB, their mortgage. They're struggling to beat the band. They can't get food on the table for their kids. People are waiting on the SNA teachers on school places for their kids. There's people on hospital trolleys tonight. There's people waiting to see consultants. All the while, them in the Dáil are spending money on bicycle sheds, security huts, phone pouches, looking at 190 grand for a fitness instructor, and 440 grand to house Ukrainian people with modular homes. Rather than looking after the over 14,000 people that I represent, rather than getting beds, detox beds for the people that are waiting for them all over the country. No, they'd rather put them in inject centres in your communities. See, I represent the people struggling. There's no such thing as a middle class in Ireland. It's just the rich class and punching down on the lower class and the working class who I represent. I want to expose you. Because when it comes to Mary Lou, who, hear no evil, see no evil, Mary Lou, when it comes to McGonigal scandal and sex offenders, you won't talk about that. Social Democrats and Owen Hanley, silence. Judge Martin Nolan let off sex offenders to beat the band. No politician calls them out. I do. Yous are all silent. When it comes to the landlords like Mel Sutcliffe and Banty McInerney making millions from illegal immigrants, I'm against illegal immigrants. Mass deportation, send them home, look after our own people. But you don't call that out on the bogus left because you support these landlords. Yous are pushing with open borders to bring them in. That's the hypocrisy of it. Yous are a joke. Yous don't represent the people. When it comes to Roderick O'Gorman, imagine a Minister for Children who admits his department deleted files involving the abuse of children and he's still the Minister for Children. This is the country we live in. Joe Brolly, Still gets media attention. This man put out a tweet saying he would do a character reference for a child molester if it was a family member or a friend. Sick, but that's the reality of Irish politics. So he is a right to be afraid of me, because when I run, if I get in, I will expose all of you. I don't want to be in your club. I'm here to call you out and represent the people who've been left behind for generations in deprived areas that you don't care about.
There you have it. And he doesn't give a shit. And that's why I love him. I swear to God, he's brilliant. He really is good now, I have to say.
On the hospital trolleys, he's saying there, I'm hearing that everywhere on the town, that like older people are coming up to me and they're crippled and they're having, cancer checks, they're having hip replacements. Well, they're not having them. They're laying on trolleys. They're afraid to go into the hospitals around Kildare anyway, and sit on trolleys for hours on end. It's a really big concern in this country at the moment.
Yeah,
this is overpopulation,
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Really is.
And then there's our nurses not being looked after at all, pushed out the door. No mobility system, no incentivization to stay, no bumps in pay. Nothing. It's going to keep going, unfortunately. And there it is. Thornton Hall has HSE round the clock GPs and clinics. See all that? Cooks for 3 meals a day. All of that. They're really leaving out the Irish citizens. Even the fact that the people coming in here get a medical card automatically, and if you serve your whole life working and you retire, you're not even entitled to it. You have to go through a means test. Surely you've paid enough tax in your life to get a medical card at least.
I'm just looking here. Sinn Féin are full of pedos, and I hear the Irish Freedom Party of people from Africa in the party. No, we haven't. No, I don't know what you're talking about there, mate. I think this was sorted out now a few weeks ago, but hey, I'll tell you again, no, we haven't.
And by the way, just whoever posted that, which would you prefer?
Yeah, which would you prefer? Would you prefer pedos or applicants? So, yeah. But we haven't. But even still, yeah, you're right, Martin. Ask them out there. What would you prefer? They're probably Sinn Féin voters now. To be honest with you,
we've always said we're not ethno-nationalists anyway. We've always said that. Like if there's Polish people here 20 years, let them stay here. Like there's a cohort of people who believe that should be 99% white in Ireland, but that's not the way it's been before. People had a problem with it. We've had immigration and immigration, and it was all controlled, and it was all just like any other functioning society. But people are standing up now because of mass uncontrolled immigration. So don't be trying to have your gotcha moment. We're standing for this reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hate speech back on the agenda in the Shannon on Tuesday. Yeah, we heard that now. I have to say, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But you touched on Thornton Hall there just a second ago. Okay, I'm just gonna. Have you seen what the guards have sent out to the households out there? Can you have a look at this?
No.
I'll show you now. I'll just move you over there, Martin, for a minute. Shit, sorry. That's too small. Hold on, put that in there. There it is there. Okay. This is following for you. Garda Síochána advice to the people of Ashbourne. No to Thornton Hall. Home security, fit door viewer, and a chain limiter. These will allow you to safety check and control your security. Front and rear doors and windows should be kept locked day and night. Okay.
What?
Yeah, this is what was sent out to them. Yes, I'm telling you now. I only got this sent to me just before the show. A girl sent this to me. Keep a list of emergency numbers that you can refer to quickly. Required, e.g. family members, neighbours, Gardaí, medical or fire service. If you have a mobile phone, ensure that you have emergency contact numbers recorded under ICE in case of emergency system. Keep a personal information pack in your fridge. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's that one, right? And here it is here. Look, and I'm just going to write the red ones. Ensure your back door is locked when you answer a call at the front door. Okay, now here we go. I'm just going to read out the red bits, right? Do not keep large amounts of cash in your home. Use banks, bills, societies, credit unions, post office. Keep all credit debit cards in a secure location as well as financial statements and records. Out and about, avoid traveling alone where possible. Go with family, friends, or neighbors. If traveling by car, keep all doors locked. Be alert when parking and getting in and out of the vehicle. And then there's a third one. Here's the third one. On public transport, sit as close to the driver or exit as possible. Keep cash to a minimum. Carry only credit cards. Try to avoid walking at night. If you must, it is advisable to you to have a companion. Walk in well-lit streets and as close to the roadside as possible. Come on. That's a bit much, isn't it? You
Who
know,
said that, Paul? Was that the Gardaí?
out to yes, from the Gardaí in Ashbourne to this is what the girl has told me. So, and that's why I'm showing it there now. So yeah,
That's an admittance of increased risk to the residents. You know, even in itself, that's a statement to say that there has been, because of, does it say the words Thornton Hall? It's very hard to see, but because of the situation they've set up, they've increased the risk of harm to the residents.
no, it says there, Garda Síochána's advice to the people of Ashbourne, no to Thornton Hall. Yeah, that's what they've sent out to the people of Ashbourne. Now, if there's anyone from Ashbourne there, if this is not true, like I don't know why this girl would send this to me to play on the show. You know what I mean? So I'd say it is true, but if there is anyone there, can you tell me?
Yeah, verify it there if we can.
Yeah. Here's the one now, Forever in Blue Jeans.
It's a very odd state place to take, you know, because if the guards sent that out, then
that's admittance.
Admittance of it is of increased risk to that community and the residents there.
I'd be wary of commenting further until it's verified. Just err on the side of caution, because some people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If anyone knows about this or anyone has received this as well, can you please send it in to us or come on and verify it?
Now you would have guarded communication between community watch organisations, etc. And when there are increases in criminal activity, the guards would put out information like that. You know what I mean? But it seems unusual that they do it given that those circumstances. You know what I mean? Because like you said there, it's an admittance of, guess what? There's a load of new to the parish coming, and crime is going to go up. Yeah.
It's not reaction. Yeah, if it's true, it's not a reaction to crime increase. It's an anticipation of crime increase. Which is
exactly. Yeah.
Allegedly, if this is true, but like if anyone knows, has received.
There you go, James Owens. A lady from Ashbourne shared that with me as well, Paul. So.
Yeah, just below Ray Heaney says the same thing. It's true. Seen it posted during the week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's Ray. I'll try find the link. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yep.
Owen O'Sullivan, we are now paying for modular homes in Ukraine with 14,000 homeless at home. Disgusting the way this government treats Irish citizens. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael are anti-Irish. Ireland, wake up. And it's true. You know what I mean? It really is like. But what I was told last week was, okay, they're talking about this, the modular homes have doubled in a year to 440,000 from 420,000 or from 220. These were only 42,000 when in 2022. So they've gone up tenfold in the last 2 years. You know, it's
just go on to any website that sells modular homes. You won't find any company selling them for 400 and something thousand.
Well, now I actually have a video there, a guy done. I'll play it in a few minutes of one that is bigger, and it would be your family home for the rest of your life, and it's 160 grand cheaper than what these are. Yeah, I'll play it in a few minutes. We'll just. But this with Ashbourne now, this has gone crazy now. I have to say, like if that's. Well, it's had to be verified there now that it is true. You know what I mean? So
you know what's bizarre as well, Paul. The two things just ask them last two issues are worthy of a massive news bulletin in itself. It's just so much on, but two of them are actually shocking, scandalous.
But you won't hear it. That's the thing. You'll hear nothing. You know what I mean? That's because it doesn't suit the narrative. You know, it's
in.
It beggars belief, man. It really does. I swear to God, beggars belief. I'm going to talk about them modular homes now, right? I'm going to bang this video up here now and we'll watch this one, right? And we'll come back and talk to her.
I've been sent this article hundreds of times. Cost of modular homes for Ukrainian refugees doubled to 436,000. So I went and done my own research. I'm here to have a look at one of the Ukrainian homes and give you the exact square footage. 4 meters in width. And our length, 13.5 meters. What we found is yesterday's units were 580 square foot. This unit is 1,680 square foot. It's 156,000 cheaper and 1,100 square foot bigger. It don't add up to me. So my tape is at 4 meters. This living area is the same size as one of those houses. This house is 1,100 square foot bigger and 156,000 euros less. This is costing the taxpayer the guts of €500,000. They're not Part M compliant, which is wheelchair. They're not NZEB compliant because they're not A-rated. So this house at 156,000 cheaper meets all compliance. Those houses at the guts of €500,000 don't. So this house is 156,000 cheaper, is your forever home. The other houses, after you're replaced in 10 years, cost €500,000. Who's the fucking loser man?
It's true. You know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Of a house, the average square foot of a house in town in Carlow is about 1,000 square foot, and he's saying it's 1,100 square foot bigger, and it's still 150 grand less.
There's the girl there, Claire. Thanks very much, Claire. Claire McGrath. She sent it in to me. That's the girl who sent it in to me there earlier. Thank you, Claire, for that. But again, we just had to verify it, but it has been verified now. So yeah, fair play to you. Thanks very much for sending it in. Someone said, James Owens, thanks, Claire, for getting that out there. Wesley Winters put up a brilliant video today on here. Okay, we'll try and find that now in a minute, you know. It's not their money they're spending, it's ours. And it's true, you know. It's crazy. People in Ashbourne need to tool up together. Now, I'm not going to tell people to tool up, you know. I'll sound like Cannon then, you know what I mean? So, no, that's not what we do, you know what I mean? But listen, people, you need to protect your property. You need to, you know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of...
Well, the guards are telling you to...
Well, the guards are telling you to do it already, like, you know what I mean? So why not? You know what I mean?
There's there's information on citizens' advice, and you can get it on the Department of Justice website as well in relation to what you can and can't do in relation to protecting yourself and your property. You do have a legal right to protect yourself and your property, and you can use reasonable force to do both. Sorry, yourself, your property, your family, and your property. And you can use reasonable force to do so. So people need to kind of brush up on the law in relation to what you can and can't do. At the end of the day, depending on what way things go, a judge will decide what was reasonable force. But you do have rights to protect yourself, your family, and your property, and people should make themselves very aware of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I tell you, nobody can come in through my door. I'm telling you now, they won't get out. I remember years ago, I don't know if you remember this, years ago that they were arresting people and they were doing people for, if you caught someone robbing your house and you bashed them, you were getting arrested for it.
Yeah.
So what people were doing was they were slaughtering them with baseball bats in the house and fucking them out over the gate and leaving them out over the gate and saying, well, I don't know what happens, you know what I mean? So whether people start doing that again or not, I don't know. But this is what's happening now, you know what I mean? You people robbing the houses, and then the people who are trying to protect themselves are being arrested for this, you know what I mean? And it's wrong, like, you know what I mean? It is in so many ways.
They changed the laws a few years back. That I think that law was changed or amended in relation to that, because there was criminals were suing victims for assault, or there was actually cases where people were in robbing houses and they slipped or cut themselves on a window and they were suing the bloody owners. So I think that law has been amended, if not fully changed. But still, like, we live in dangerous times. People need to be aware of what their civil rights are.
Can you put up a link, lads, protecting your property? I don't know, Martin.
I'll try and dig it out. Yeah, it's on the Department of Justice website, as far as I know.
If we can, yeah. He's always looking for something that outfit, isn't he?
Yeah, no, fucking demanding. I can't see any. He's had to drive me across the country today. So.
Fair play. My pal's a metal fabricator. He said he'd do the boycott for a max 50 grand. This fella builds bridges and all big civil projects. Should we all know that how much that should, come on. And he won't tell you who's at fault for it, it's crazy.
Yeah, their new line seems to be, we don't want to do witch hunts. They did that with COVID as well, didn't they? We don't want to do witch hunts. We don't want to do witch hunts. Yeah. Well, guess what? The fucking taxpayer wants a witch hunt. Excuse my language.
Exactly. We need to know what's going on here. Well, I'm not a taxpayer at the moment. I'm unemployed at the moment, so yeah, spot on, Carrie. Yeah.
Only for another month, Paul.
Yeah, only for well, please God, yeah. come the 15th the next month, they'll come be sitting in that place behind me there, please God. Is that the bar there just over me left here, is it? Oh, lovely. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Listen, I'm getting good feedback. I'm not messing. I am now. And the interview I did the other day with the girls, Suzanne and Madeline, that was great. That's getting great traction. Like, and people are texting me about it and saying, "Fair play to you. You're talking the right things." You know, an actual counsellor rang me the other day, a friend of mine, and he said people in Hope are talking about me because he's like, you're not shouting like everyone else, Paul. You know what I mean? You're not one of these far right lunatics. He said you sit down, you talk to people, you do your stuff. So I'm hoping that'll work out well for me. You know.
Yeah.
After the shooting from Ward, wasn't it? Yeah, I think, that's right, Martin. That's what he's saying. After the shooting from Ward, do you remember your man shot the traveller?
Frog Ward, yeah.
The
issue with that case was that he reloaded and shot him again. So, but the man had been tormented. He was living in the shed beside his house because he was afraid to go into the house because he'd been broken into so many times. It's a terrible story at the time. Like, but
it was a terrible story.
It is. There,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Anthony. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll show it again.
Go again.
So, a person may exercise force and violence to defend property from intruder or entry force of violence. It is necessary. Sorry, I screen recorded. I should have made it longer. Necessary to request a trespass to leave before resorting to physical measures. That's Irish Legal Guide. That's from.
Okay. Let's see this now.
So you can use excess force if people are trespassing.
See, the bishops are calling on the orders to be more accepting of asylum seekers. Foreign men at my local church every day at 7:30, wondering at the church feeding them. Don't do it for the Irish, and it's true. They don't do it for the Irish. Like, they don't. Is that Garda notice is legit? It's an admission of capitulation. Yes, it is.
The church one is interesting, right? So the church, people have to realize that the Catholic Church is as corrupt as any political organization. The head of the Catholic Church, the Pope, is a member of many nefarious organizations.
Globalist,
he's pushing the same agenda. So the message comes down to the archbishops and the bishops and the priests to that this is the Catholic Church operates the same way a political party does. You know what I mean? A message comes from the top, and they spread it out to the grassroots, so to speak. I mean, I'm a Christian, and I'm a failing Christian, as we all are. But I washed my hands of the Catholic Church a long time ago. A long time ago.
As we said, you're dead right, man. And I think someone called me out today on Twitter saying, "What do you think it is?" You know, you claim
Emma.
to be. Yeah,
Emma. She's from. She says she's from Roscommon. It could be one of the lefties on a fake account, but I've had some interactions with her as well. She's absolutely bonkers. Great fun though. Like I said, I told her today. I said I thanked her and I said, "Listen, you do that. I'm using you to hone my own skills as in how to speak to an idiot."
You know, I seen about 5 messages from her, or 6 when I went back on. I didn't even look at them. I was like, "Oh, here."
It's just the same stuff. To be honest, it's just the same stuff over and over again. It's literally every time we interact, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Or a newspaper article about me, or a newspaper article about Herman, or a newspaper article about Paul, or that's it's just the same stuff over and over and over again.
Sorry, go on. Somebody saying, "Please tell me you have seen the beautiful mural at Glen of the Downs." The mural, have you seen it? I haven't seen it. No,
I haven't heard anything about it.
No, there's another one here, which shows just how woke the Catholic Church has gone. At Liz Pepper, yeah, it's true. And then we
says no to the RT propaganda.
Yeah, then we have here. Hopefully, you will get Denise Mitchell's voters, Paul. Please God, I will. Yeah, that's what I said in the video. There, Denise Mitchell's seat mightn't be as watertight as they think. You know what I mean? Like, she got in there with 21,000 votes. She won it in a landslide the last time. She barely scraped in 2016, but in 2020, she won it by a landslide. She was the first one to be elected on the first count. And people are talking about them. Sinn Féin are losing the votes big time. Like, you know,
isn't it amazing what can happen to a political party in the space of one election cycle? It's actually it beggars belief. But it goes back to the thing. I really think Sinn Féin don't want power, and I don't think they ever wanted it. They don't want the responsibility. They want the money, but they don't want the responsibility because they know that it's a poison chalice. It has to be by design. They can't be that naive and stupid to think that turning on their voting base would work. Like, you know what I mean? That identity.
Well, that's what they've been doing. Like to the likes of the Says No groups. East Wall Says No. They've been calling them people far right lunatics for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like it showed in the local elections because Malachy he got in fairly handy, like, you know what I mean? So did Gavin, you know what I mean?
So,
and I think if I had a run out here, if I'd have ran in Donamead, I think I'd have got in Donamead, to be honest with you. But this is what they're saying. The hill at the Glen of the Downs is a lovely big mural saying Newtown says no to RTE propaganda. I effing love it. A serious amount of traffic will see that. I've seen that, yeah, I have seen it, yeah.
Just on the Sinn Féin thing, Patricia Ryan's left the party. She's South Kildare TD.
That's right. She got in without even canvassing. Do you remember she was on holidays?
She was in Lanzarote.
She was in Lanzarote, yeah.
But
I voted for Paul Donnelly up here as well. Like Paul Donnelly got in here in the first count. I think he got 8,000 or 10,000 or whatever it was up here. And the others didn't get in. Like I think what was it, 8 or 9 counts. Varadkar didn't get in until the 6th or 8th count or something like that. You know what I mean? That's why he's not running again, obviously. You know, it's I think they'll be decimated. And I think the Green Party will be decimated as well. And then I seen a thing today. Roger O'Gorman has a GoFundMe up. Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So he's on what, 225 grand a year. And he has a GoFundMe.
Yeah, they've reckoned it up. Somebody reckoned it up. He got 998 grand or something over the last 4.5 years. And he's looking for 2 blatant grand. Come on. You know what I mean? That beggars belief.
Is it his though? Is it genuinely his, or did somebody
I don't know. But listen, it's funny and anyway, you know what I mean? How many nationalists do you think might make it this time out? Owen, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Listen, if 5 of us got in, I think that would be brilliant. You know what I mean? But listen, 1 or 2 even, whatever gets in, you know what I mean? But I'm hoping about 5 gets in.
I think over the entire nationalist movement, there's going to be 4. I'm never going to say who, but I think there's 4 that will get in based on demographics and we'll say the work they've done. So 4 with the likes of Matthew McGrath, Carol Nolan, and a few other, we'll say, independents that kind of lean our direction. You'll be able to form a very, very, very strong nationalist bloc with a lot of Dáil speaking time. Hopefully. Now, I mean, we could actually get really surprised. Things have got so bad in relation to government spending, in relation to the corruption, the all the other scandals that are going on, and then it's not just Sinn Féin that are losing people. You have to remember how many are we up to? 20.
How many's gone
Fine Gael, 21 now, I think. It was 19 last count, but I think 2 more have gone since.
This is the groundwork, isn't it, Martin? Like, this is the groundwork. If we get a few in the door this time round, it sets the stage for
100%. Yeah. That's it. That's it. We all you see. All you have to do is get a few in the door, 3 or 4. I mean, if you got 5 or 6, Jesus, that's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, be brilliant, yeah.
The mainstream media will be forced to give you speaking time, and then you can reach the actual general population who are blinded by the propaganda of RT and Virgin and stuff like that. They will have to have you on to debate. And the reality is, when we get our hands on these people, we're going to destroy them. Because we're well informed, we're well able to speak, we're well able to debate. The names don't work. You know what I mean? They can't hurt us, they can't scare us, they can't intimidate us, they can't do anything. They've thrown everything. I actually might segue into talking about what they threw at you this week.
Yeah, exactly.
International media, guys.
Could you imagine sitting there on this week's in politics? Oh, Jesus Christ, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Paul whipping out the cigarette.
Yeah. Are we now smoking here? Yeah. How many is needed to hold the balance of power? That's from Carrie. Jeez, I don't think we get enough.
They've knocked it up to what? There's 174. Is it 174 seats or 172
seats? Now there is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking 90.
Yeah. Let's see what Owen says. 4 or 5 would be great, to be honest. Yeah, it would be brilliant, Owen. Yeah.
And that's very, very realistic. Now, there is potential for, like I said, depending on when they call the election and depending on what happens between now and then, you could be looking at more. There's a couple of dark horses there that may surprise one or two in our own party as well.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
there's definitely a few out there. Like I said, there's some really, really good independents as well that I think will give a really, really good show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Elaine Mullally, is it? That's at the leaving the, what do you call it? Like, she's a good candidate. She
No,
has a good head
absolutely,
on her
absolutely.
shoulders too. She's a
She's
good woman.
definitely one of the strongest independents out there.
Yeah.
And again, will align with whatever nationalists get in. Like, I mean, it'd be great. Like, fucking, if do you know, it'd be brilliant if everybody could, if each of the parties got one or two in, and then you had your smackering of independence, and that brought you up to 10 or 11. Like, that'd be absolutely amazing. Because that's a voice. That is a voice in the Dáil, and a real voice for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rodrigo Gorman, that's to buy a leaflet to remind his partner to vote for him. Air Force, I liked your Ukrainians. I haven't heard that. What's that? Air Force, I liked your UK Iranians. Sorry. It's turn of the tide. It's going to be a biblical tsunami. Well, we're hoping it is. You know what I mean? We really are. What's this one? Hope your dad's okay, Paul. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's grand at the moment. But the court case is back up tomorrow now. We've another court case tomorrow. So yeah, I have a video there I'm going to show just to remind people of what happened in Coolock, you know. Is there a transfer pact with AIN2, National Alliance, Independent Ireland, or anti-woke independence? I don't know what about the National Alliance or Independent Ireland or any of them. I haven't. I'm going to talk to some of the lads myself, like, to see, you know what I mean? Like, you're always going to get what?
The chips have to fall first before we can, respond to much of that stuff. We don't know who's going to get in or what way it's
I know, but you know what I mean? If you're knocking on doors and people come out and say, well, I'm not fucking voting for you, I'm voting for, say, Kevin Coyle, or I'm voting for whoever, you know what I mean? We have to push ourselves for that number two. You know what I mean? We have to say, well, listen, if you're not, okay, you're not voting for me, well, please give me your number two. You know what I mean? Because if one of them gets knocked out before me, I'll get all of their number twos. And the same with me. If I get knocked out before them, they'll get all my number twos. You know what I mean? So that's the way we'll have to do it. We'll have to walk some sort of a,
To be honest, there's very few constituencies that are actually running multiple candidates. There's only a handful of them. I was actually watching a guy go through it on Twitter. I might have been on Spaces or something like that. Like, Paul, yours is fairly heavy, but there's only 2 or 3 more. I think it's 4 in total where there's multiple nationalist candidates running, and it would be in everybody's best interest to I'm not saying support. Look, we all support the nationalist movement, but no shitting on anybody else, and just basically say that and exactly. There's no harm in encouraging saying that. Do you know what? Wouldn't it be great if we got 4 nationalists in and actually decimated Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and you know what I mean? Exactly. That's much better for the country than we'd say one nationalist getting in, and the transfers and stuff like that. So like we're all on the same side. We're on different roads, but the destination is the same. But most constituencies only have one candidate running. Like I said, there's 4 or 5. I think with more than one. But I think the relationships are good there, Paul. Like, you know what I mean. So
yeah, exactly.
It's important that we you don't have to endorse somebody. You just support them. You know what I mean.
Yeah, there's Air Force there is asking, how do you feel about Herman, boys? Well, I'll start off on this one if you want. I done my interview the other day with the girls, and I said I think Herman is the only leader in the country that could bring us into the Dáil. I think the other lads, I don't think they have the qualifications he has. So for me, Herman is the only leader in the country that could do that for us out of all the smaller parties.
He's the party president, and he has more political knowledge than the 3 of us combined. I know that for a fact. I know the jobs he's had, the jobs he's been steeped in it for years and years and years. So like I said, as a party leader, absolutely. You know what I mean? There's no one else there that can take that mantle.
Yeah. I agree with the previous 2. Yeah, look, he has the wealth of experience there, and he knows the crack, so he's guiding us in such a way. So yeah, we're all strong going in. Hopefully we get a few of us in alongside him.
Yeah, exactly. What have we got there? Oh no, Sullivan, please God, not this time. Sharia Féin are finished. There's a lot of votes going to real nationalists, and it's true. It is, and that's what I'm hearing. It really, and it's. I have to say, it's heartwarming. It's really, it's bigging me up. You know what I mean? I'm feeling great now. You know what I mean? Martin, Sinn Féin have no chance in South Tip.
We still have Matty McGrath.
Matty McGrath, yeah, exactly, yeah. This guy Ryan is,
5 years time.
how can running for the Dáil Éireann Anthony Casey and Paul Fitzsimons? I think that's what you're saying. Vote for us, Anthony Casey and Paul Fitzsimons. And I have to say, this show on a Sunday night really gets us noticed, doesn't it, Anthony? I meet people on the street. You're the guy with the telly. You know, and I think back to Father Ted. How did that fucking age get on the telly? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Is he never off?
Yeah.
I get that at a time now.
Yeah.
Or, you know, people coming over to me and enjoy the show and funny, some people, you know, we're part of what we're talking about. If we got a few nationalists in, like say if me or Paul got in, and then the Irish Freedom Party becomes a lot more known because it has to get airtime. Where a lot of people come over to me and say, yeah, you know, I've seen you on the show. They might have seen the show once or twice. Irish Freedom Party, I'm not really sure about them. Or I haven't really heard about them. And you're getting that a lot. And it's just a media blank out. And the system is set up that, you know, that the elites will stay in power, unfortunately. But like that as well, I think the tide is turning a bit. But
we're not. We see we've gone from knocking on the door gently over the last 5 years to we're about to kick the fucking thing in. So it's a case of you can't stop this. I know people wanted it faster, but there's genuine momentum behind it now, and like the government are giving us the ammunition. That's the crazy thing. Like they're giving us all the ammunition. It's scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And like I said, even with like mainstream media is going to have to start. They have a little bit now. They've attacked the government over the reckless spending and stuff like that. But they're going to have to start looking at us and actually giving us a fair shot. Local media. I mean, Anthony, you got some good write-ups in the local media. Orla's got some good write-ups in the local media. So local media, you know what I mean, and radio interviews, etc. So we're doing that good. It's just to break into the main propaganda channel, which is RTE, and unfortunately, there's a demographic there we will not reach because it's a demographic that don't use social media, that only get their news from the broadsheets and RTE or Virgin Media. So we have to break into that. So and also because of the censorship laws coming in, all this might be shut down. So we'll have no choice but to get onto RT.
Yeah.
But on the mainstream media thing, do you see that notice in front of the newspapers the other day? I don't know if that's real or not. Is it real?
That's somebody just doing that. There's been a couple of really good local campaigns. There's a good graffiti campaign in Clonmel. I'd love to know who's behind it, but it's great. Just this mysterious graffiti keeps appearing all over the place.
Brilliant.
It's really, really good, and a lot of that stuff is it's guerrilla information tactics is the best way to describe it. It's good stuff and it's great ideas. So whoever's behind it, keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a video here now. This is again, and it's from the guy who has been arrested and charged with the Maria Ward murder up in Belfast. Now he's actually living in a hostel here in Dublin. So I'll play this and we'll come back just to talk to that.
Man charged in Dublin with murder of Mary Ward in Belfast. A 31-year-old man has been charged with the murder of Mary Ward in Belfast over 2 weeks ago. Where's the uproar of femicide from the women's rights groups and the NGOs? The same women's rights groups and NGOs that to be screaming, say it loud, say it clear, fake UGs are welcome here. Ahmed Abdirahman of Kinlay House, Dame Street, Dublin 2 appeared before Dublin District Court. That explains the silence. People are wondering, is Kinlay House an iPass centre? Well, I made 2 phone calls this morning, so wonder no more.
Kinlay House, you're speaking?
Yeah, hello, how's things? I'm looking to book a few beds for the bank holiday weekend.
No, sorry, sir. This hostel is not open for tourists anymore.
Oh, okay.
Kinlay House, you're speaking?
Yeah, is this a Kinlay House iPass centre?
Yeah, how can I help you?
So did the new to the parish after the murder come down here and claim asylum? Or did he claim asylum before the murder? Mind you, according to some media outlets, such as Dublin Live, he's not a new to the parish. He's a Dublin man. Don't let these people be gaslighting you. Just stop listening to them. Why do you think they label people like me the big bad far away far right? It's because we've warned you and told you what's going to happen. From here on in, things are only going to get worse. We've been screaming about the violent and sexual crime statistics across Europe. Places like Germany, France and Sweden. Sweden, which has a similar open borders policy to Ireland. I'm blue in the face saying it. But the violent and sexual crime statistics from across mainland Europe, places like Germany, France and Sweden for example, that come with open borders and mass migration, paint a horrific picture. This is because of open borders and mass migration. I'm blue in the face saying it, but I'm not going to stop. The violent and sexual crime statistics from across Sweden and mainland Europe prove what comes with it. Does he mean information like the violent and sexual crime statistics from across mainland Europe that has come with this open border policy and mass migration? If you don't stand up, this is going to happen again. We've already had women murdered here as a result of open borders. Huge numbers of undocumented male migrants we know nothing about have entered the country since Ashley Murphy was murdered. And a lot of people are just happy to sit around and wait for the next victim.
It's true. It's true. But again, I remember when the woman got killed here last year. Was it last year or the year before down in Ashtown? I think her husband did it or somebody did it. And you had Ruth Coppinger out and all of the gobshites screaming femicide this and femicide that, yet they're all silent on this because it was done by a migrant. You know, and did he claim asylum after he murdered her, or was he already a refugee here? You know, these are the questions that the media need to be answering, but they're not even being asked these questions. That's the killer part of it.
Well, if you think about it, it's an easy escape. The same thing happened with the woman that was murdered in Limerick. The guy who did that was that the guy that was only described as having a bandaged hand. I could be getting mixed up. So he ran up north, and what this guy did is he came down south, killed somebody up north. So like it's an easy escape for them. You just have to no documentation, arrive at an iPass center, go, I'm whoever made up name, and that's it. They're out of the system, and it would be hard to track them.
Yeah. But what do you think there, Anthony, on that one? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's the same thing we're warned about for the last few years, you know. And it's true. The crimes are going up. The guards are leaving the force. It's a setup for disaster, and the government are complicit in ignoring it. And even their admittance, as we pointed out earlier on today in the show, that they recognise that they are a higher risk, and still they're throwing in 1,000 men in a small area beside schools, beside creches. It's scandalous. You never would have thought this thing could have happened, but they're admitting it themselves, and bizarre.
It is. It's crazy, isn't it? Somebody posted up there. Hang on. What's it? Yeah. Imagine if this show was broadcast on national telly, it would be over in the morning. Yeah, it would.
Fact.
Yeah. Anthony, did you hear Patricia Ryan's interview on KFM basically saying James Stokes and Thomas Redmond were undermining her? I didn't hear it. Now, did you hear it?
Yeah, and you know, it was a tough interview in terms of the host didn't let her away with much. But you know, someone reached out to me from a local town in South Kildare, and they were part of the Sinn Féin come on there, which all dissolved. They were very upset about just the way, like, I would say that it came across that she was betrayed by the party and she had to leave it. And you're hearing a lot of this, but people weren't very impressed with her performance. And look, I'm not saying her performance is bad. I'm just saying what the feedback was on the ground. She got grilled over that by the host. Where was she for this? She wasn't communicating with the people. Now she was running independent. She's in Lanzarote for the account, you know. Bizarre stuff. So I don't put much stock in her. I really hope people wake up and don't start voting for these people back in. Like, she's running against me in South Kildare. Everyone's gonna know who she is. KFM actually won't. I've been asking them for a bit of time on their space since the locals, and they won't give me any. I would urge anyone here who's from South Kildare who's talking about it, send them an email as well. Let's get the opposition parties in there.
Do you know who owns that radio station?
We don't.
Look into it. Look into who the parent company of the radio station is, and that might explain. I know there's some local radio stations that are owned by nefarious entities, as I call them. So sometimes it can be just the bias of the actual the host as well. But a lot of the time, it's coming from the parent company.
Speaking of nefarious entities, would you like to tell people what happened to us this week, Anthony? With I'll try and pull up this now, and we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, try to pull up myself. So, well, I suppose this kicked off about, what did it say, about 3 weeks ago now, 2 or 3 weeks ago. It must be 3 weeks, and I got an email from the Institute of Strategic Dialogue the only reason it rang a bell with me was because these are the guys on the Virgin One documentaries and RTE documentaries, Borders and Lies, and talking about how the big bad far right just emerged out of nowhere in the last few years and are all racist. But so they questioned me and asked me, did you say such a thing on the Irish Column Show 3 months ago, that this is destruction of Europe? Are you an admin of the Kildare chat on Telegram? Are you Anthony Casey running for a local election with the Irish Freedom Party? A few bullet points. So I was kind of searching around to see if anyone else got this as well. And from looking up ISD, it looks like this is George Soros and Bill and Melinda Gates funded a global company to squash any retaliation or any opposition to the usual guys getting into power or turning the tide. So they released a report on us this week, and I think another one or
I'm
two.
going to just share it there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share this report. Okay, just let me move myself around there. Okay, this is it here. This is investigating an Irish misinformation hub, the Irish channel. This is it, There's my mouse. Come back over here. By Kieran O'Connor. Now, they looked into the Irish channel, they looked into the Irish column, and I'm just going to go down here just to where it talks about us.
I'm just going to say, unfortunately, Kieran couldn't be available. I invited him to come on the show.
We did. We invited him on tonight. Yeah, we did.
And just to have a civil discussion about it. But unfortunately, Kieran O'Connor is not someone who wants to back up what he puts out. So you can go online and see my tweet inviting them on to the show.
I'll read this one here, Anthony. Okay, hang on. I'll just see, can I make it a bit bigger? I'll read it anyway. Anthony Casey is a podcaster and a member of the Irish Freedom Party, for which he unsuccessfully ran. They always come up with that unsuccessful shit, don't they? Which he unsuccessfully ran as a candidate in June 24. At the IFPR in August 24, he was chosen as the party's candidate for Kildare South in the upcoming general elections. Casey officially joined the Irish channel in March 2024. Before this, he hosted his own podcast. Since joining, Casey has been co-presenter of the recurring Irish column live stream video series podcast with Paul Fitzsimons. Woohoo! As noted in an earlier section, the Irish column series is closely linked to the Irish Freedom Party and regularly features interviews with party president Herman Kelly. ISD contacted the IFP and Casey to offer the right to reply, which we did not receive a response. Okay? And then they go on. Paul Fitzsimons.
Already a bit of information there that's wrong is me being selected the Ardèche. I'm guessing that was just a presumption, because they couldn't find when I was selected, but they can add in whatever they want. There's no links or references to these claims.
No, nothing. So here we go. Paul Fitzsimons is a podcaster and member of the Irish Freedom Party, for which he unsuccessfully ran as a candidate in the 2024 elections. At the IFP Ardèche, he was chosen again as a candidate. No, I wasn't. You know what I mean? I was already picked. That, we all know that's lies. You know what I mean? Fitzsimons joined the Irish Freedom Party in 2022, and prior to this served as a member of the Executive Committee for Reclaim Ireland. In 2024, Fitzsimons was charged with unlawful possession of a knife, failing to comply with guarded directions, and engaging in threatening, abusive, or insulting behaviour in an incident at Talbot Street in Dublin City Centre. Since mid-2023, Fitzsimons has hosted the Irish Column live stream series podcast. In April 2024, the Irish channel began hosting the programme on its website. ISD contacted IFP and Fitzsimons to offer the right to reply, and they did not receive a response. Nobody contacted me or the Irish Freedom Party. So that's all bullshit. Okay? So I'm going to stop sharing that there now. Okay.
They also at the start of that, Paul, at the very start of the report, and anyone can go on and see this, just put in ISD and the Irish channel, found to feature white supremacist conspiracy theories, anti-Semitic hate, and support for Adolf Hitler. Now, no references to when we said any of this stuff. And by the way, we don't support
any of that stuff.
Supremacist and Adolf Hitler. And also said something about us being homophobic.
Okay.
Our elected councillor is a gay man who's often on this show. Like it's so far from the truth that anyone could see it,
So here we are, partners and funders from 2022 to present. The Institute for European Politics, the National Counter-Terrorism Innovation, Technology and Education Centre, University for Police Forces, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, Centre for Internet Security, Friends of the Earth, Global Action Plan, Jewish Columbus, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, European Climate Foundation, Open Society Foundation, that's George Soros, and the Reset Foundation. Okay, we have more here. Let's go. Accenture LLP, Global Center Cooperative, Google, that's who's censoring us all. Can you see that, Martin? I can make it bigger if you want.
No, I'm watching. I'm sorry. I'm actually reading. I'm reading
Sorry.
the stuff about the founder on a different screen.
Yeah, Microsoft, Spotify, the Jewish Community Foundation of Los Angeles, Wellspring Philanthropy Fund, Australia Department of Foreign Affairs, European Commission, International Organization for Migration, London Mayor's Office for Policing and Crime, Ofcom, Swedish Centre, UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development, UK Home Office, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural, US Department of Homeland Security, and the US State Department. Okay, that's them.
So just before you go ahead, Paul, all right, this ISD, just so everybody's aware, this is a UK organization censoring Irish speakers.
Yes,
it's a UK
they have
organization
places in Germany as well.
Yeah.
Germany,
Yeah.
Africa, they have them everywhere. Well, here's what it says about them. ISD is a non-partisan, non-profit organization that upholds the highest ethical standards. Our independence guarantees us the freedom and responsibility to only pursue projects that comply with our mission. Core aims and the value of the organization, our strategic direction and policies are governed by a board of trustees. To safeguard the continuing independence, the programming, ISD upholds its principle of integrity, independence, objectivity, accountability. ISD only accepts funding for work in line with our mission and strategic objectives and our ethical funding policy as outlined below. We do not undertake programming, pursue external partnerships, or work with funders that could undermine ISD's independence or credibility anyway. So they only work with people who like what they do, who agree with what they do, more or less. You know,
which is censorship to the highest bidder. That's what they do.
Exactly. We receive funding from governments, trust foundations, companies, and individuals, and the diversity of our funding sources helps us to maintain and protect ISD's independence. The funder demonstrates respect for and adherence to universal human rights, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, democracy, and the rule of law, and does not support or condone extremism or terrorism. There's one more, and then we'll. ISD is in the UK with the Charity Commission of England and Wales. In the US as a non-profit corporation with 501c3 status. In Germany as a limited liability company with a charitable purpose GmbH. In France as a non-profit organization, and in Jordan as a non-profit limited liability company. All ISDN entities comply with the relevant local legislation of guidance in the countries in which we operate, including money laundering rules, lobbying rules, the UK Bribery Act, and the Code of Fundraising Practice. We regularly review and update our internal governance and operations procedures and include our data protection policy, diversity and inclusion policy, and privacy policy.
There's a follow-up. See that with Wired, Wired Media. I think they're actually US media. And we're big stuff wrong all again as well, their information. In recent weeks, the far-right Freedom Party launched a watchdog Sinn Féin initiative, which aims to localize groups of men who will be active to respond to claims that illegal immigrants are being brought into their neighborhoods. The group has been called Sinn Féin, which is Irish for "we the people," a phrase that become indelibly linked to the far-right cause in America over the past decade. The Irish Freedom Party is also linked to the but according to Kieran O'Connor, that's wrong. The Irish Freedom Party has nothing to do with Sinn Féin. That's a whole separate entity, but it is.
Hang on. Let's Anthony. Let's go back and just call it what it is, right? The writer, whose name is, and I'm going to tell you all about this guy, and so David Gilbert, right, wrote an article that has two lies in it. It's not misinformation. So he's writing an article about misinformation and disinformation and all that nonsense, and he has two bold-faced lies in his article. It's as simple as that. He needs to offer an apology and a retraction. So I tagged him in Twitter and Wired on Twitter and stuff like that. I'll tell you a little bit about Wired, okay? Because I was wondering, because Wired used to be a tech magazine. So the editor of Wired at the minute is a woman called Katie Drummond, right? So Katie Drummond wrote wrote a kind of an op-ed, you know what I mean? A piece about, why they've decided to enter into reporting on politics and, the left and the right and stuff like that. So I went in and read her little piece, and it's filled with links. So every single link you click, it brings you to, where is she now? So, okay, every single link you click, so it says disinformation. So when you click on the link to disinformation, it brings you to the actual article, influence of the US far right in Ireland is growing, and then something about, Mary Tyler Greene over in the States. When you click on the link to online extremism, you get a Robert F. Kennedy article. When you click on it's so on and so forth. So you just click on the I'm going to put the link to the article in the chat. But every link you click on, it brings you to anti-Republican material. So she's obviously a Democrat with the bias is there. You know what I mean? It's all negative. It's all anti-Trump, anti-RFK. So basically, I went on to there's a website you can go on to check the check which way a publication leans. Right. So it's media bias and fact check. So it says they lean left center. They're fucking far left. Wired is now a far left entity. It's a simple. It's not left to center. It's far left. And going through their articles, their parent company. So Wired is owned by a company called Condé Nast. CONDENAST. Condé Nast got hammered during the Black Lives Matter movement in America. Somebody on their board or somebody said, "Oh, it's very hard to be a person of color in this organization." So they got hammered. There was strikes. There was 400 people, 400 reporters went out on strike and stuff like that. So they got hammered during that. So they've gone far, far left. So Wired, which used to be a very good tech magazine, is just now another propaganda far left puff piece. Fucking, it's toilet paper is essentially what it is. This guy, this reporter, he's been with them quite a while. David Gilbert, he was a senior reporter with them since he was with Vice Media first, and then he went to senior reporter. He was a senior reporter with Vice, and then went to Wired as a contributor. Interesting career. Look, he was a journalist. He was a part-time teacher. He was a journalist for the Western People, journalist for the Wexford Echo, news editor with trusted reviews. But he's part of the system. You know what I mean? He is part of the system. You can see it. Like he went to college in Cork and stuff like that. So he's been in that system for a very, very long time. So he is just another purveyor of propaganda. You know what I mean?
And the other one is Aoife Gallagher is the other one. Yeah, she's the one that done all that. Just the Irish Channel have just put up there. They are funded by all the nice people like Bill Gates and George Soros. It's true. It's ridiculous.
But it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing to see publications like that just swing to the left, because essentially it's something that happened nearly 4 years ago. That basically they had a bad time of it. They were losing sales, and then somebody popped up and said, "Oh, it's hard to be a person of color in this company." And then even the appointment of Katie Hammond, because I haven't read everything about her, but she does seem like kind of typical far left liberal American. You know what I mean?
What did you say that girl's name was there, Paul?
Aoife Gallagher. Aoife Gallagher.
It's scary looking at her. She actually looks like she believes what she says. And you're starting to see this. It's these people. I don't know if they think they're doing the country a justice, but it could.
I'll give you one. I walked upstairs last week and I found her book was looking at me as I walked up the stairs in the house. So somebody's reading it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's not the kids. You know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous. Like, sorry, Chris, I highlight your name in response.
By the way, as well, I did say I wasn't putting down Shinadina. I think it's doing great work there. By the way, it's not an IFP entity.
Call this man what he is. Right, I'm going to say it out loud, and you can write whatever articles you want. David Gilbert, you lied twice in your article. I demand you and Wired retract it. and apologise to the Irish Freedom Party for misrepresenting them, to Sinn Féin for misrepresenting them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There was great work actually in Athlone. That call out for Sinn Féin. A lot of people turned up this week.
It was brilliant. Yeah.
There's still no people in Athlone at the IPAS centre at the moment, but people are stirring around the town. I think there's a meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. actually, or 1 p.m. I'll double check that. But yeah, it's good to see people coming together.
There you go. Air of force. I have a good man going to reach out to you, Anthony. And I was actually talking to a girl, Claire, earlier on, and she said she was talking to you as well. So just to let everyone know, Sinn Féin is we the people. It's nothing got to do with any political parties. It just so happens, Anthony, and even this show, the Irish column, has nothing got to do with the Irish Freedom Party. It just so happens that I'm a candidate, Anthony's a candidate, Martin's a member. We have asked other people to come on this show. Like Gavin Pepper comes on this show. I've had different people on this show all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just Irish Freedom Party. Now, I have Orla sitting down there now to come up. You know, I'll bring her up in a minute. Go on.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul. I wasn't Irish Freedom Party when I joined as a host with you, Paul. You know, just
exactly.
You know, the manifesto makes sense. It's one of the most solid, built-up, longest-standing national parties there, and I had to run the locals, and that was the obvious choice.
Yeah,
but exactly. What this reporter has done though is essentially said that I'm a member of loads of stuff. Like that means by what he's kind of tried to make out in his article, my rugby club is set up by Irish Freedom Party. That's essentially what he said. And
everything is set up. Everything is.
Anything you're linked to, Paul, is Irish Freedom Party, and Anthony, everything you're linked to is Irish Freedom Party. Like, I mean, it's just I think we really need to hammer this home and go to town on this guy and Wired, because this is what they're trying to do. They peddle lies, and when we catch them out on lies, they accuse us of the misinformation and disinformation.
Yeah.
So let's see how they react now. If this man has actually got any journalistic integrity whatsoever, will he actually offer a retraction or an apology, or even come on the show?
Even come on the show, exactly. Yeah. We did send out the emails to them, and like Anthony will show you the emails if you want. I think you posted it already on X, didn't you, Anthony?
It's on X, yeah.
You asked them. But again, what happened here, like before I went with Freedom Party, okay, the Irish Freedom Party, I was part of Reclaim Ireland, okay, and we tried to set up our own party. It didn't work out grand, and we went and we were going to merge with Renua and DDI, I think it was. That fell through as well. We had talks with Herman, and we moved across to the Irish Freedom Party. We brought members with us the whole lot, and instead of the Reclaim Ireland brand, we rebranded it the Freedom Network, or not the Freedom Network, sorry, the Freedom Movement. So all the Reclaim stuff got rebranded the Freedom Movement, not the Freedom Party. You know what I mean? We didn't take anything across to the freedom. The only thing that we had was freedom. It wasn't anything to do with the Irish Freedom Party or anything like that. And the same thing, I set up the Freedom Network. I set up the Freedom Radio. That has nothing got to do with the Irish Freedom Party. That's mine. You know what I mean? That's ours. You know what I mean? It's nothing got to do with the party. And I was the only candidate out of the 7 people that came across who actually was kept on as a candidate. Obviously, I was the best. Obviously, I don't know. Or else Herman just likes me. I don't know. But, you know, that's the only reason. That's the only part we have with the Irish Freedom Party, was coming across, and I joined the Irish Freedom Party, and we changed the name of the thing because we had come-ons in every county. We'd had 26 come-ons for Reclaim Ireland. So then we just rebranded them and we put them in as the Freedom Movement. So that's the only thing that we did that's nothing got to do with the Irish Freedom Party, and it still has nothing to do with the Irish Freedom Party. What we say on here is our own. I know I'm a candidate, but what we say on here is our own opinions and everything else. You know what I mean? The party has nothing got to do with this show, you know? So I hope he does come on and apologise. I wish he would. Go on, sorry, lads. I'm going to bring Orla up here for a minute. Hello, Orla. Good evening. How are you?
Hey, Orla.
Guys, how are you?
Good. I told Orla to hold off at 10 o'clock because you usually do a little body swerve around 10:10, Martin.
Believe it or not, I'm in the new studio. I could stay as long as I like.
Well, that's grand.
Yeah.
That's grand.
Brilliant. I'm just laughing, Paul. I was only talking to you 2 hours ago, and where are you now? Outside of prison?
I'm out. That's the doll. Look at the doll bar behind me. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you, if that's a prison, open the doors and let me in.
Hey. It's not a prison, but it's full of fucking crooks.
It's full of crooks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now you have it. I
That's
tell you,
exactly like.
it's all
Yeah,
right there, you
look,
know.
have you all the sharks around you now?
He may as well be in the doll. That's full of sharks as well. You know what I mean? But
There's
hang
the
on,
last few Sinn Féin ones going off.
lay down and take the corruption killing of the people. Yeah. Okay. North Korea is settled. The invaders go back. Gangster house. That's it. Yeah. A fucking Lola. Yeah.
Can I say something about this Athlone iPass Centre and the it's very funny that I know I'm going back to this notice that was put out. It's interesting warning the residents of a threat. And the latest there, a month ago they put out all over RT everything. 3.2 million was spent on equipment for the Garda Public Order Unit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't seen one member of an iPass Centre been pepper sprayed or hit with a baton.
No.
They're anyway. Someone put in something there. Did you hear about the public order unit that got in trouble for pepper spray? I couldn't find that, but that's the 3.2 million came up there.
There's do you know how many GSOC cases are ongoing at the minute?
No. Go on.
So I did an interview with one of the GSOC guys in relation to an arrest that was made in Clonmel, just giving a witness statement to what I'd seen. I was just kind of just chit chat and conversation and stuff like that. Was there, are you busy? And he just rolled his eyes and he said, up the walls. He said, I've 6 more of these today to do. Not 6 more interviews, 6 separate cases to deal with. The guard's going to spend more time up in court in relation to illegal arrests, and because look, people have had enough and people are learning about the law. Patrick McCreel is very, very good in relation to posting stuff and what your rights are and stuff like that, and people aren't just aren't accepting it anymore. So the guards are getting hauled up left, right, and centre. So a lot of the court's time is going to be spent with these cases, which again is going to have a knock-on effect on real, we'll say
John O'Boyle is a 7-year-old man.
I just wanted to throw it out there as well about the guards as well. John O'Boyle, have you seen this John O'Boyle thing in Ballina? Who has been framed by the guard. The guard said it was a hit and run the whole lot. Now, I told Melissa I'd talk about it tonight. I forgot to actually pull up the video and do whatever. But I'll see, can I get it up there now in a minute? I think Stephen from the Irish Inquiry did something about it. I'll see if I can pull it up there and we get a few minutes. Stephen Kerr, yeah. But he has been framed. You can see the actual video. The car does not even touch that guard. And they have done this, man. He's up for sentencing, I think. Was he up for sentence on Friday? I don't know whether he was sentenced or not, but he was up.
But the judge saw the footage.
Yeah.
Sure. Your judiciary. There's always going to be a certain level of corruption in the guards, but it's the judiciary that has to be dealt with. That's going to be one of the most important things to get sorted when we do take the country, is to separate the judiciary from the state completely.
Yeah, it's true. Are you messing with your mic there, are you, Orla?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's Anthony. Anthony, I see your dad just put in a lovely message. He's now my new favourite person.
Oh. Hang on there. You talk there for a minute. I'm just looking for I'm just going to look for this video.
Has anybody seen a good news story that we could talk about? I was actually just sitting there thinking.
I have one. I put it up my Facebook earlier on today. I find it absolutely hilarious that there is supposedly a spy in the doll.
Oh, Russia from Russia with love.
I think that is absolutely brilliant. I'm just like, oh my God, you could not make this up. And I just put up a post saying, like, could you imagine like them coming in and seeing the likes of, I know he's gone, but like the likes of Eamon Ryan there asleep, and to be like, okay, mission aborted, it's over.
Yeah. I think I wonder do any of the bookies have odds on who it is? I'd be interested to have a look up there. Go to Boyle Sports or Paddy Power or something and see.
Someone said it was Neil. Someone said it was Neil. What's his name? Yeah, he's too thick. He's as thick as 2 short blanks. That big fat-headed fucker. It's not him in any way. No way. But,
I think to be honest with you, I think that's just a story just to detract from the previous week's scandals. You know, that's
sorry. Can you be more specific? Can you be more specific, Martin? Like, there's been that many. Which one are you talking about?
I said scandals plural. Yeah. But that's like so it's basically an unsubstantiated story. If there was a spy in the Dáil, you put their name out there, and that's it. If you're again, it goes back to journalistic integrity. If you're putting out a story that you say is true, but you can't name the person involved because you don't know if it's true, then the editor should not let that go to print. That's 101 journalism.
Well, can we do the Northern Ireland Health Bill? Because we could, that might take up a bit of time.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier on. Yeah.
Go ahead there, Anthony. You throw that up there. Yeah, I'm just
I'll throw it up. We can discuss it. There's 2 videos on it, but I'll throw up the first one and we can discuss it before the recent.
no problem.
Having had an opportunity to analyse this document, I can say with some authority that this is the most draconian legislation that I have ever reviewed, having challenged significant emergency legislation in recent times. As a human rights lawyer, I would describe it as spine-chilling. Upon reading the proposed legislation, what struck me was the Health Minister's foreword, in which he states that the new health protection legislative framework will be based on a review of the 1967 Act and the recent public health emergency. I would suggest that no consideration has been given to recent public health emergency, other than the fact that the former health minister deemed he did not have sufficient legislative power or authority to take measures further during the previous public health crisis. This is notwithstanding the significant legal challenges that the minister, his department and other agencies faced as a result of their actions. In the document, it states on numerous occasions that it is intended to progress the bill at pace. This in itself is quite a concerning statement, given the fact that ordinarily any bill of such a nature should be analysed and toiled over in good time. It also reiterates the narrow scope of the Act, which is contradicted by the substance of this document and therefore the proposed legislation. It also states that an outside international body has largely drawn up this legislative framework. This in itself should raise eyebrows. What is also given reference specifically is the power of entry and the role of authorised officers, which came under significant scrutiny in the Divisional Court in the judgments of Kozubakova and Hughes. The proposed legislation centres on a 2015 consultation and refers to public health threats that are yet unknown. This would be, in essence, akin to framing terrorist legislation against an unknown threat. Moreover, other legal issues arise in respect of the potential implementation and procedural processes of the administration of this legislation, if this legislation is passed. Not only does this legislation give rise to a veto over ministers, but the Assembly itself to enact certain measures. Yet this proposed legislation heavily engages numerous convention rights, including Article 3, 5, 6, 8 and 10. It also flies in the face of significant case law and the guiding principles that are the cornerstone of our legal system. Lastly, there are serious questions in respect of the standing of this proposed legislation in reading it in line with the Good Friday Agreement. In conclusion, I have grave concerns in respect of, firstly, the process of consultation, and secondly, the content of this proposed legislation.
Wow.
And do you know what's kind of scary about that? It's literally over the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one there, wasn't there? The other Northern Ireland one. What was her name?
That Melissa. I actually thought it was her. There's an info video on exactly what it's about. I actually thought that was it, but I think the other video should bring a bit of light to it anyway. This is only from 2 days ago up in Belfast.
What's her name?
To the media, no doubt attending, you brood of gaslighting vipers! You have failed the people of Northern Ireland by not reporting on this until social media picked it up a mere few weeks before the deadline. So, rather than indulge yourself in your favourite sport, calling people far-right conspiracy theorists, I suggest you actually read the bill and the implications proposed that go way beyond the scope of health. So allow me to take this opportunity to fact check you and counter your misinformation, misunderstanding narrative. The Belfast Telegraph states, and it's not just the Belfast Telegraph, it's the BBC, it's all of them, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. The Belfast Telegraph states, the bill does not explicitly mandate compulsory vaccination. What part of point 144 where it prohibits the imposition of a requirement that a person undergoes medical treatment except for vaccination and prophylactic, and point 70, the Public Health Authority can make applications to the Magistrates Court to order health measures in relation to persons, things and premises. Are you having trouble deciphering? What part are you finding so confusing? And then you write, the bill states that regulations must allow exemptions in an attempt to dampen the concerns of the people. In case you haven't read it, you're referring to point 172. So let me read it to you. In regulations that include provisions imposing a requirement on persons to be vaccinated or to receive other prophylactic treatment. Let me read that again. Imposing a requirement on persons to be vaccinated. If that alone doesn't sound compulsory, I don't know what does. An exemption must be provided, including how a person who is entitled to an exemption is to evidence that entitlement. So how exemptions can be obtained is unclear. I would presume it would be on medical grounds if you have injury from a previous medical treatment. Anyhow, an exemption is a permit removing informed consent. Let me repeat that. Replacing informed consent with a permit, and you don't think people should be concerned and outraged? To the media, have you heard of the Nuremberg Code? Jot that down, look that up. You have been so focused on the anti-vax narrative that you have failed to report on the wider scope of this bill and how it affects the rule of law and suspension of rights indefinitely. There is no misinformation. There's a failure on your behalf to report it. You have been silent, moving only to disparage those who have brought attention to the bill. I don't think that is in the one interview with Nationalist.
Jesus, it's crazy up there, isn't it?
It's passed in Scotland, I believe, already.
Wow.
Has it been?
Yeah.
That's
Jesus,
crazy.
they're well ahead, aren't they? Between that and the hate speech.
Crazy carry on up there. But I got did any of you see the short video that went out today? Somebody put it out that somebody put in there. They scanned the code on the Park Magic thing. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, and they were charged $1,000.
Oh my god. So Lana, this is probably what happened to you. Fuckers. Absolute fuckers. So hang on, what I want to do now is, okay, so I'm going to just do...
Yeah, charge £1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, scammer's going to scam. Always
Bastards.
been the case. Yeah. That's why, cash is king.
Cash is king,
Yeah.
I done it. I came home. I remember about must have been about 10 years ago, coming home from town. I had been out at a Christmas do out of work. I was well gargled, and I walked down past Tardis Street station there. Tardis Street, just on the quays there, and this guy got out of a Mercedes, and he was cleaning. He was cleaning the bank link. I thought, this is fucking odd. You know what I mean? Why would you clean the bank link at 3:30 in the morning, getting out of a Mercedes? So I rang. I actually pulled the copper. I said, listen, mate. I said, this looks a bit weird. I said, your man has got out of a Merc there. And I said, it might be nothing. I said, but the copper went over and looked. He was after fitting one of them yokes to it, the plastic thing around it. Yeah, that's what he was doing. Yeah, going around fitting the, the way they take the, you have a little skinny piece that goes over it that looks exactly the same. And that's what they were doing in a silver Mercedes. Like, I thought, you bastards. Further again, it wasn't an Irish fella. It was I wouldn't say Romanian. He was Eastern European, but you know what I mean. You knew by him because I could hear him talking to the other fella in the car. You know what I mean. But Anthony's gone off there for some reason. The internet must have dropped. But that's crazy, isn't it? £1,000. So people, be careful. You know, if you are doing any of these, be careful. You know,
cash. If something, do you know, people need to be encouraged that if a business, I think one of the coffee chains, Starbucks or I never use them anyway. One of those big coffee chains has gone completely cashless, hasn't it? Don't spend your money there. If a business will not take cash, don't use it. If a car park won't take cash, don't use it. Just use cash wherever you can, because like cash is king. That's the easiest way to say it.
It is, yeah.
Pat Doyle just said you're a snitch, Fitzy.
I saw that. I was laughing at good comment. Yeah, fucking right.
I was there in the car, like taking notes.
I was waiting for my dad to come in. I was actually standing there with me because my dad's a taxi driver. And
we believe you.
No, I had to walk from Harcourt Street, right? I came out of a place in Harcourt Street, and they won't pick up one guy on their own because they don't get that much money. You know what I mean? You might be only going. Whereas if they have 4 or 5, there could be 3 or 4 drop-offs. That's why they won't pick up a guy on his own. You know. So I had to finish me out. I had to drive from Hout all the way in to collect me and then bring me home. Like so, yeah, that's the only reason why I was standing there. I wouldn't have copped it otherwise. You know what I mean?
It's amazing what they could come up with, isn't it?
Oh, stop.
Yeah, look, there's been scams since there's been scams since the dawn of time and stuff like that. But it's horrible. Like money's hard to come by. You know what I mean? It's hard to earn a decent wage. You know, it's terrible. They're bad people that steal like that. You know what I mean? And you've very little comeback. You've very little comeback if you get scammed. Like I know people who've bought stuff online. You know what I mean? Over Christmas presents and stuff like that, and they bought e-scooters online and stuff like that, and fucking nothing arrives and the money is gone, and it's a week before Christmas. You're just thinking, how bad are these people that do this kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Did you see the one? I'll find it for another show. Of the Indian girl, where she rings up, hello sir, blah blah blah, and he says, your name is Mary or whatever, or Pradeshi, whatever her name is. She's what? No, it's not. She said, listen, your family are watching this video live. Your family know what you're doing. He was actually live streaming back to her family to fucking let them see what she was doing, scamming people. And she hung up the phone, but the live stream was still going. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was brilliant the way.
I've seen that guy that can hack the other guy's computers and turn their camera on. Like it's impressive stuff. Like he's
Paul Snitch Simmons.
Oh God!
Stop. Yeah, Snitsy talking to the rashers.
Hey, you know what? Look, there used to be a time. I'd love to go back to where the local cop was your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They weren't baiting
No,
protesters.
I don't remember them times, Martin. I'm sorry.
Look, it's different out in the country. The local guard would be steamed down the end of the bar with the priest, the doctor, and fucking and then all get into the cars. But I mean, like there was a time where basically, like, look, cities are different to rural life. But there was a time where you'd go to the guard and say, "Geez, I saw a dodgy car there. I saw a dodgy van and stuff like that." You know, it was genuine community policing. Look, cities will always be different, higher population and stuff like that. But I'd love to go back to a time like that where our police force were approachable and actual part of the community, because they've distanced themselves from the community.
Yeah, okay. Paul, native Irish Paul, as IFP supporter, you don't answer me. What the fuck? This is the same guy that keeps putting this up about the abortion stuff. We spoke about this last week, lads, and to be honest, I'm finished with it now. I don't want to speak about it anymore. Okay, the party is pro-life. Okay, the party is a pro-life party. My opinions on this are nothing got to do with the party. So, and Orla's opinions on this, I don't know how I'd react in different circumstances. Okay, but the party stance on this is we are a pro-life party.
Pro-life, pro-family, yeah.
So I'm not going to answer you now. You know, I've answered you now, so I'm going to leave it at that now, native Irish. You know what I mean? Seriously, you know.
Anyway, Martin, I was just thinking, you know what? I'd love to go back to the 90s. I think the 90s was a great era because it was before technology. Things were just a lot simpler, and
everyone was dancing.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that kind of dancing, Paul. I had a big mop of long hair, and it was more like that.
No. I was raving. I was a raver, yeah.
Oh, Lord God, yeah, going to the nightclub and everything. Oh, listen, those were the days, you know. As I
Right,
said, no phones, no technology.
We've a half an hour left of a few more videos to do. I'm just going to go with John McGurk here, and he spoke. It's about 3 minutes long about the SPHE curriculum, and then I'm going to go with Sharon Keoghan with what she said in the Shannon. That's about 2 minutes long, but we'll do this one first, and we'll come back. Okay.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is my opinion, but if you, and this is all led by an agenda, but if you are interested in teaching that kind of stuff to 12-year-olds, in my opinion, you're a weirdo. Why would you want? You're just a weirdo. These are weird people. Whatever this is coming from, are strange people who want to. I'm not 100% decided, and I know people in the comments will say, "Well, it's this and it's that, whatever." I'm not 100% decided on what the full agenda is, but I think it's sinister and I think it's strange. Why the obsession with teaching children about this stuff? I don't know. But I think that if you are driving an agenda that seeks to teach children about rimming or fisting or any of that stuff you mentioned, you're a weirdo. You're just a strange person. What possible? And also, furthermore, as a parent of children who aren't yet that age or whatever, it's absolutely none of anybody else's business but mine and Keith's what our children get taught about any of this stuff. And I think it's creepy and weird that there's such a drive and a push to teach children stuff. And we're not even, just to be clear as well, and obviously we're not, because you've just explained what some of it is, but we're not talking about teaching children, the human biology. We're talking about teaching children what is effectively porn, what is effectively like beyond what most adults, I think, and most adults I know would be doing at any young age, never mind even as adults, most of the time. We're talking about teaching children extra stuff that only a small amount of people do. Why? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to teach kids? Like, we talk about not exposing children to porn. Why do we talk about not exposing children to porn? You've said it before, we've talked about it on the podcast, how damaging it is, because it teaches children that certain things, certain acts are normalized, and makes, we'll just use one example, but it will make girls, for example, feel that, certain acts are part of the human experience. They're normal. It's perfectly, that you're strange if you don't want to do this, all these extra things, we'll say. And what this is doing is going into 12-year-olds and teaching them about fisting and rimming and acting as if that's just a perfectly normal thing. Well, I'm a 40-year-old and I don't think fisting and rimming is a normal thing that adults do. So why on earth, what kind of a freak is trying to teach my kids about that? And why? In an education system, if somebody came up to one of my kids in another setting, one of my sons, for example, and tried to teach them when they were 12 about fisting and rimming, I would be seeking to have that person arrested.
It's true, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Jesus, God bless the innocence of us. Do you remember, like, we're in and around, I'd say, the same age. Some of us. Now, right, Paul?
I'd say I'm a bit older than all of you, like, yeah.
But, like, what were we learned at school? Like, literally, it was like hygiene, how you had a baby, and like periods, and that was it. Listen, over and done with.
We learn about periods and like that. That's a woman thing. That wasn't. I remember being in class and them talking about breasts, and it was like, it was really funny. It was. They said,
the innocence of it, yeah.
It was, and there's no innocence there now. And they're telling the kids are watching this online. My kids are not watching it online because I know what my kids are watching, and my kids know if somebody comes into a group they're in, or I know who all their friends are. They're in closed groups, and it's someone. If I look at the phone, who's that? Oh, that's such a body's cousin. He's from blah blah blah, or he's from, and she'd explain to me who it is. Like, they're not going to, like, my kids don't tell me lies. You know what I mean? I know they don't. They're only, they're young enough kids. You know what I mean? But
The language that lady used is really, really important, and it needs to be adopted by everybody that's watching here. You need to start adopting that language. So if somebody wants to teach your children about what she said, you call them a freak and a weirdo. And we have to turn the tables on these people. And we have Norma Foley is a freak and a weirdo. Roger McGorman is a freak and a weirdo.
And a weirdo,
And anybody else involved in pushing this curriculum is a freak and a weirdo. And we really, really, really need to start calling it out and use that language with them. If you see them in person, tell them that. You tell them politely, you were a freak and you were a weirdo for allowing this to enter our schools. And if a teacher, sorry.
No, they're complete. Like, someone's arguing with me for calling it out on a video on TikTok. If you went to my TikTok video, me calling it out in Carlo, you'll see people arguing the toss with me, one or two people in particular, and even they're more. I called it out. You've put virtue signaling above the safety and innocence of our kids. Like, it's absolute bizarre stuff, and we've seen this for the last 5 years and probably longer. Really, I think. I don't want to get into too muddy waters with it, but we've seen it for a while. But it's a powerful tactic that the media's use, this whole virtual signal thing, and people are identity politics, and they all fall in and they get behind a cause. They completely forget the actual logical sense, or the illogical, meaning behind it, or where it's coming from, or how it's harming people. People thought it was great to little boys should be able to paint their nails whatever they want or wear whatever they want and bring them into school.
No,
like that little boy then is subject to bullying for the rest of his for the rest of his school term or longer. Like, it's not up to you, to do that things, and you have a right to protect your kids, and you have a right to protect them and stand up for them now. Now's the time to stand up for your kids. If you see something going on, reach out to Shinadina, by the way. If you do see that's in a local school, and they might rally a few other concerned people, you'd be surprised of how many concerned parents there are within one school, especially when they hear what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's very important to stop this.
Just for the people who are here, when you were in school, go back to secondary school, was there any transgenders or boys wearing dresses? Or it's a new phenomenon, and it's been created. It's artificial. This was not normal. You know what I mean? We had the different cliques and groups here. It's kind of after me. There was GOTS and stuff like that, but it was Methodist when I was in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fucking, you probably remember that. What were the lads on the scooters?
The mods and the scars. Yeah. I was a scar head. I was.
Yeah. So you had groups and stuff like that. That's human nature. You know what I mean? But there was nobody coming to school with, like, if some lad arrived into school in a dress, he'd get the absolute shit kicked out of him first of all.
Well, now the nearest I ever seen that was the New Romantics. Do you remember they came in? And
but that was the Cure, and that was the music. That was the big hair and stuff like that, and things like that. Actually,
it just have the Irish channel. The Irish channel just put up there. People should be making complaints to Gardaí as it's against the law to groom minors, and it is definitely against the law. Go on, sorry.
And Sharon Hogan has come out saying that this is against the Children's First Act 2015.
I'm going to just play that then, right? Seeing as though you said that, I'm going to play that. We've only fought.
Yeah, just on what Martin was saying there. Like, they say that 85% of children suffer from body dysmorphia. And out of that 85%, 90% of them are gay if left to their own natural devices. And what we're seeing now is a step in from, I think it's Big Pharma trying to get more money for themselves to lead them down this route of non-return to not only their drugs, but to eventually go on, the table to do these massively regret-rated surgeries. It's all a money-making scheme. At the most innocent level, that's what it is. At the worst level, it's paedophilia, and it is destruction of the most innocent in society.
Yeah, well, you look at the Minister for Justice, who the husband is. He works for AbbVie. They make puberty blockers. He's the top man in AbbVie. Why wouldn't she be pushing in this hate speech bill to stop us from giving out about it? And for
Mary Lou, look at Mary Lou as well. Sure, isn't her brother? Sure, he's trans now, isn't he?
Her brother's a sister now. Her brother's a sister. Yeah. He doesn't know whether he's coming off and going. Yeah.
But she was right, actually. That woman there was right, like, especially for young girls. Like, this could be putting ideas in their head that they have to do this and they have to do that, and that's what's going to be normal. Do you know what I mean?
This
Like,
is
that's
what I've
not
been
right.
saying all along. If you give children choices, they are going to take the choices. Whereas if them choices aren't there, what are you going to pick? They're going to go with what go. Listen, I've said this before. I've palled around with tomboys, girls who were tomboys years ago, and they were better footballers than us. You know what I mean? They used to climb the highest trees, and they had their hair short. They've 3 and 4 kids now. They're happily married. You know, it's just a phase they go through. You know, but now these arseholes are telling you can be a. Now they're telling you can be a furry. You can come in and wear a bleeding. You can be a cat and bring in a cat litter tray. I think myself, it's weak parenting. Cowardly parents afraid to say anything because they're being told, would you rather have a dead child or would you rather have a trans child? You know, this is what they're being told. And instead of taking the bull by the horns and saying, listen, come on, it's just weak parenting. Now, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, tough shit, like, you know.
And I've said it as well, like my daughter in school, now it hasn't happened for a while, whether they've moved on to something else, but there was stages where when she walked down the corridor, she was barked at by a group of girls because they were identifying as dogs.
There's the Criminal Justice Act 2006, Section 176 of the Criminal Justice Act 2000 introduced the criminal charge of reckless endangerment of children. Exactly. Fair play. I'm going to just go with what we were talking about there. We were talking about Sharon Keoghan. Okay. Yeah.
I call on Minister for Education to resign in light of the SPH training administered by the DCU. Minister Foley's interview on News Talk last week showed a shocking level of negligence from the media to do their job and probe the story. Presenter Ciara Cuddihy flippantly dismissed it as a non-story in response to Minister Foley's defence of the training as a seminar that was for adults by adults. Rather than discredit the messenger, he decided the minister was right. He decided the whistleblower was giving misleading information. The real lie is the cover-up by both Minister Foley and the media, and the whistleblower on the course discussed how some content was already administered in the UK in classrooms. Also, the WISER programme, a similarly obscene and graphic SPHE sex education course, received complaints from parents in a Galway school some time ago. For the record, the entire course was recorded. I can only discuss a part of that course today. The minister should be sacked immediately because this is grooming in its purest form. If you tell people children are sexually innocent, they are effectively grooming. Children can never consent, and these are children as young as 12 being exposed to obscene content in the classroom. And to those who would retort that children are looking at it anyway online, this is the so-called safe environment to receive information. I need only point to Senator Mullen's bill to ban online pornography for minors. It cannot become law fast enough. It is a real solution that ensures that children are shielded from sexual contact. The Minister has spent 9 million for child protection on deactivating smartphones in school when children's mental health services are on their knees. A better way to use this money would have been to invest in counselling services in the school where it is sorely needed. I call on the Minister to resign. She has presided over and defended this content, and it's simply not good enough. Children deserve better.
Fair play to her. I have to say,
yes,
fair play
very
to her.
good. I shared her video.
Kieran Cuddihy he's a scumbag. He is. He's not a reporter at all. He's not a journalist at all. He's a piece of shit. Sorry, Kieran, but you are.
Yana London deserves a big call out as well for all the work she's done in relation to this and bringing
brilliant.
to the So she
and then new stuff. I don't know if anyone's seen. I had it up my Facebook page as well. New stuff was released today from Yana saying that there is something else coming out now, and it's targeting the seniors. You know, the juniors, the senior infants.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, that's coming out
this
week.
I said that to you earlier on, Paul, didn't I?
You did. Yeah, that's coming out this week.
Yeah, it's coming out this week. That whatever's in the books, so they're going after pretty much 4 and 5 year olds.
But that was always the plan. It's in the UN document. We've known that for years. That document is out a long time, and that's what the curriculum is actually built on. It's this United Nations framework for what like it's
2030.
It's discussed and stuff like. But but look, it's getting out there. More and more parents are aware, and you know the most powerful thing in this country is an angry mommy. So more mammies need to get more angry, and we could.
Well, I've always said that. I said, wait till the rest of the mammies wake up. There'll be hell to pay because they're the one force now. No one's going to go up against.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there, as well. They'll rise everybody. But yeah, you're dead right. Yeah.
There's one mammy I know is watching because she screenshotted me and sent it to me. So our friend Emma is watching, Anthony. So she's a mommy as well. So maybe you should spend more time looking at what your kids have been taught at school than attacking myself and Anthony.
Yeah, saw that earlier on.
I don't know. Okay, we'll leave that one there. Right, park that one there now. We'll talk more about this next week. We might do a midweek show, I think, because there's too much here tonight now to be doing. I've loads of videos still here to show, but the lads were attacked up in the Dundalk says no this evening.
Oh, yeah,
did you hear about it?
On, yeah.
You didn't hear about it? No. They were.
I
hadn't seen. I said to you, I hadn't seen the video.
Yeah. Well, what happened was there was a few of them there, and there was only a handful of them there, and 8 of these Antifa gobshites came over, and they attacked one of the women and another guy on a walking stick, and another guy who has cancer. The people that are there, they're normal everyday people, and they attacked them. But the guards watched this attack happen. The guards let this attack happen. But then when our lads got the better of the 8 of them, the guards moved in and arrested 2 of our lads. It beggars belief. So I'm just going to play this here now. It's 3.5 minutes long. We'll come back and talk to him, and we'll finish up then after that.
Right, boys. What are you arresting? What are you arresting him for?
I tried to fuck him up.
Don't exist. You're the ones that started it.
There's the 2 of them there that started it in the background there.
Rob, stay there, Rob. You're the ones that started it, Gardy.
Right, just let me breathe.
Robbie, stay down, man. Stay down, Rob.
Put my head up. Put my head up.
Robbie, relax. Stay down, Robert. Where's our flag? He's not resisting. Right, leave now. Don't resist.
No need for violence. No, wasn't fucking resisting.
He's not resisting. You're the fellas that started it. We want them arrested.
Let the stunt out and get up yourself.
You're the cunts that. You're the cunts that started it.
They started.
No, shut up. Yeah, you come here. Are you making the complaint, sir? Are you making the complaint?
They attacked me.
Put the camera down. I'm speaking to this man.
They attacked me.
Right, okay, that's fine. Are you making the complaint?
No.
You're very aggressive, Carl. Calm yourself down.
Took me 3 for
You're supposed to be professional.
Will be there.
Am I down here?
No.
He ran and attacked me.
No, hang on, sorry. I'm trying to assist. I want... No, listen.
I don't even know.
Hang on a second. Yeah, it was. So you're not...
Don't just a little bit fucking round up, you know?
Okay, that's fine. I'm picking you. Alright, just give the flag back there.
Can we get me Ireland flag and tricolour?
You took our tricolour.
Don't.
Yeah, please. That's right. 103 ballot. Yeah. No worries. Your contact number, sorry. Just your contact number. Contact number. Phone number. Negative, we bring breakfast to safe now. No, just give me. I don't care, just give me your details. Your name, sir.
Oh, there are numbers.
If you see him lifting investigation. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you did it out.
They're my flags, don't touch them.
Where's our tricolour?
Leave the...
You have my tricolour.
Sorry.
If I get me tricolour back, you can have it back.
Sorry.
Should be a shame, Paul.
And a contact number.
Sorry, girl, can I get your badge number off you there? Who's in charge here? Can I get your badge number?
No, Mark.
Your address.
Because we swear to God, on camera. You look on camera.
And the overtime, lads. No money for children's mental health services.
We're going to get it, boy.
Fucking lefty bastards.
See after today.
You're fucking famous now anyway.
Right, every one of you. And yeah, just fucking out the demon you have.
Oh no. Wait.
Now, that was Clive. Clive is a friend of mine. Clive is a friend of Gavin's. You know what I mean? Clive was there with his wife. And the guy that was shouting there is the blind guy. You know, the blind, bald guy who talks at the protest. The lovely guy. Mm-hmm. So he's blind. The other guy was on a walking stick. Yet they arrest that guy. You know? And I'm going to share this screen here now because I'm going to make this fucker famous now here. Let's be honest about it. There we are. Can you see these two? This fella here, we don't know who he is. Well, someone has got on to me already. But this guy here.
We can get his mobile number, actually, if you pull the audio.
Yeah. No, I know. Actually, Claire told me already that she thinks she has the mobile number. Okay. So there you go. There's this guy here. Look. TP support for supporting communities. Members of TUA's Tenant Engagement Working Group. There he is there. Look at him. That's him. NGO. Okay. And there he is there again. That's him there. Look with the whatever shite he's wearing. You know, all them different colours that they wear. But that's who he works for.
That group is involved in the plantation at Clonmel, aren't they?
Yes, they are, as far as I know, yeah. So that's who this guy is. Anyone has his name, send the name to everyone. This guy needs to be sacked from his job for doing this. This guy is Antifa. But then again, Paul Murphy's Antifa. You know, Joe, whatever his name is, the Green Party, he's Antifa. They're all Antifa. You know what I mean? The mask was pulled off Joe O'Brien there a few years ago, and he was Antifa. So here they are. That's them. I'm going to make him bigger there. There he is there with all his little friends. Look. So I hope all his little friends now see what a scumbag he is now to do what he did. You know? I'll stop sharing it now. But yeah, scumbag, I have to say. But it's very funny how they always arrest us. They never arrest them.
Yeah.
It's like as though they have a license to do what they want. You know what I mean? And it's disgraceful. You know what I mean? Scumbags.
It's a two-tier system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a two-tier system. I'm just going to present something else here again that was out here on Wednesday, I think it was, wasn't it? Anyone see this? The Northern Lights. Lights. Yeah. That's a load of shite, I tell you. That's whatever they're spraying the bleeding skies with, that is. I'm telling you now.
Did you see the one, Paul? Did you see the one of the Northern Lights over Coolock? Did you see that?
There's the guy there that they attacked. Look, that's the guy they attacked. Look, that man and Clive. Okay. And there they are. There's Clive. There's Clive on top of your man. And there's your man, the big blondie fella. And that's Clive on top of your man with the beard. And that's Clive's wife trying to get them off. You know? And there's your man dragging him off. Look. See ya? Yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. And I'm just going to show you this as well. This is the amount of PPS numbers that have been given out to Pakistani and Indian people since October 23rd last year. October the 2023. Look, 4,257 came in that month. 3,116 came in, or 2,293 came in. Look at this. April, 1,600 in April, 2,000 in February, January, 1,500, July, 1,700, 37,500 Indians have come into this country in the last year. Isn't that shocking? You know what I mean? That is crazy.
Crazy.
I think that's all I have there, so I'll stop sharing that. But
shock factor's nearly gone from it, but it's disgraceful, you know.
Simple policy, sour the milk. It's a very, very simple policy. It can be fixed very quickly through taxation and no right to buy property. They will stop coming. That's all you have to do. You just again
and no freebies.
Yeah, but you just need a government willing to do it, and that's it. And this bollocks about the country won't survive and all that nonsense, absolutely nonsense. We have so many young people leaving the country because they can't get good work, they can't get homes, they can't get. We have to fix those problems, stop people coming in, create good opportunities for young couples to have large families. We should build a society where only one person has to work. Doesn't matter whether it's the mom or the dad. One person should only have to work, and you should be able to build a very, very comfortable life for yourself. If you want more, then you can go after more. That's up to individuals. But yeah, we've a lot of work to do. But look, it starts with the general election. We get our foot in the door, and like I said, this is a lifelong battle. If everybody thinks that this ends after the election, let's just say all three of you are elected. That's day one. That's it. Day one of 5 years of war, because you're going to have to fight every single day, fight tooth and nail for the people of this country, and never take the foot off.
That's it. We're ready to go. Like we've drafted these bills, the IFP, and we have these homemakers bills ready to go. We have these incentives in place, incentivizing their own. This is number one priority, and letting the youth have a future in this country. So many older people come up to me and how upset they are that they'll never meet their grandkids because they've gone to Australia and their kids are having kids there, and the flights are gone up way too expensive, and they're having these relationships over Skype and Zoom, and they're heartbroken. But that's the way they have it. There's nothing here. They've made nothing here for the Irish people. But
I was talking to you there earlier that the court is up tomorrow for the Coolock riots and everything else. So I'm going to play this last one. It's 3 minutes long, and then we'll come back and finish up, right? Okay. And this is just what happened in Coolock. It's in a nutshell.
Come the day and come the hour, come the power and the glory. We have come to answer our country's call. From the 4 proud provinces of Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. From the mighty glens of Antrim, from the rugged hills of Galway, from the walls of Limerick to Dublin Bay, from the 4 proud provinces of Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. Hearts of steel and hearts unbowing, never to be broken. We will fight until we can fight no more. For the 4 proud provinces of Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. We'll answer Ireland's call.
My fucking don't need it.
Yeah.
And he kept giving it to me.
Dirty bastards.
And he moved them from over there when it was raring up on them.
It's disgraceful. Disgraceful. Dad, you go on back over there. I don't want you getting involved in this. Go on. Forever, I have to be here.
I'm only thinking of my grandkids.
I know what you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of my grandchildren. My grandchildren. Shouldn't be fucking here, but why wouldn't I be here?
Exactly. Fair play to you.
More like you here. Like the talking it. 78 years of age, and that guard stuck it into my face and sprayed me all over. Standing here peacefully, I'm only thinking of my grandchildren. And I hope everybody else is thinking of their children. Because the country is being ruined. They can't close the doors now because there's no room to take anybody else in. And
You probably guessed that was me doing that video, so that was me dad. So on that
Brilliant,
note,
very well done.
On that note, people, I think we'll finish it up now for the night, and thank you very much, everybody.
We got a very important question tonight.
Dublin Bay North.
We have a new guest tonight. This is Ace. Ace is not friendly. Ace is not as friendly as Bing.
Come on, Ace, you better do it quick because I have to go. Let's go. Dublin Bay North. I'm going to drop you down, people. Thanks very much to everyone who came in tonight. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. I'm going to put myself back up there. And listen, as we say every week, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just let it loose and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless.